Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good considering um all the things that are going on in the world. I'm doing great. Um yeah, uh no excuses for the lighting. This today is intentional. I was thinking, well, if my lighting's perfect, um and then I don't look as wrinkly or sick looking or whatever, I thought, well, that doesn't really matter because I'm not actually here to show you that I know I'm pretty anyway. So, you know, if you see me in person, it's not going to be the lighting that, ooh, did you ever try Facebook Live? Oh, that's no matter what lighting you have, it's horrible. You'll always look like a vampire or something over there. But anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it like that. I'm here to talk to people's hearts and souls about what's going on in the world with um, the fake Jews, the fake chosen ones, and the twisting of the scriptures and their supposed takeover of the world and the way they treat everybody else. Everybody in the world hates them, but we're taught, and this isn't the heritage, this is the dark cabal, the um, ones that are around the, let me see if I can remember the mountain range. I might in a minute here. Regardless, they're hiding like in Turkey and Israel and other places, Germany, um, Ashkenazis, I think is how you pronounce it, from the Caucasus Mountains. When they went out of Egypt, there was some that branched up in like towards the Mediterraneans and others that went west and some that went to the upper steppe like up into Russia and Siberia and so forth and spread out all around the world. I mean, they've got it in their own books where they can slave any human being out on the planet except for themselves, of course. Um, and their self-proclaimed chosen. Let me see. Excuse me a minute. I should have checked this, but it's all right. People will be okay. Okay, wait. Good enough. Okay, good enough. Okay, so yeah, they're self-proclaimed chosen ones. There is not a loving God for them that tells them they're chosen and they have the right to call other people animals and enslave them, murder them, do whatever they want to do to them all over the world. No, that's not. Um, these are people, monsters that are in control of most of the world at this point. And they have people bowing to them like they're idolized. Oh, boo-hoo, Holocaust, when right here in America there's 100 million red people that were murdered using their money. That same system is what goes into every place in the world, just like disgusting Trump's doing now, and taking control over other people all over the planet. And everybody's instructed, shh, don't say nothing. We don't want to get these butt-hurt little freaks on our case because, oh, you might say something wrong if you even acknowledge the fact that they're evil, you know. just like the dark force that they use. And there's witchcraft all through their Kabbalah shit. I mean, if you look into it and what it really is, I'm here to tell you. I've always said the darkest part of God's nature is what they call Satan. So when they wield that darkness on another person, he's tallying it up for their demise. They're destroying themselves. It's a fact. That's how stupid they are. And for the people that think there isn't male and female separate parts of God working together, they tried to stifle that too. But I got news for you. Their plans did not work, and now we're coming after them. And they're going to get what they deserve. And they're afraid, and they should be. It's a fact. Furthermore, just the interference that would take peace from the earth and think that they could control that and get away with that above what the creators intended. They thought they could interfere in that and control everything. You can't honestly tell me you believe that there's human beings on this planet, a whole group of people that are better than you, that deserve to do bad things to you. Do you honestly believe that? If you do, it's beyond me. I'm glad it's beyond me. Wow. If I could do something awful to other human beings and think it was a good thing, I wouldn't want to live. What good would my life be? And I'm saying good would my life be if I got there at the cost of other human beings suffering? Yeah. I have a disgust for these people. They're going to be erased. Erased. It's a fact. It's a good thing they're making computers, because the person that brainstormed this is going to need robots to help his dumb ass, because he tried to take control when he shouldn't have. It's like the teenager that does something awful while the parents are sleeping, or something, like take their car or whatever, you know, and then does a heinous crime with that car while he's out there. And that would try and make it look like the parents would be held responsible for his misdeeds. And basically, that's what the whole scenario boils down to. These entities that are nasty are going to cease to exist. The dark force is going to devour any not written in the book of life. And they say they're chosen. You wrote your own fucking book. I got a book too. I'm #1 in it. Without me, there is no kids. It's a depiction of me in a coffin. Like, yeah, well, I'm not dead. Here I am. Boo, mother. You know? Sometimes some people just don't die like other ones want them to. You know, doesn't work like that. Oh, and Ford, there was a doctor that was interested on, like, I had like a burning smell of infection one time from having a tubal ligation when I was 34. They botched it. They butchered me, and I got a severe infection, and God knows what else they did to me. But I went into early menopause. Then my body thought it was pregnant. I went through all these weird things for about 20 years. That early menopause just blew me away. That's totally gives credence to the fig giving up her timely fruits, seriously. But the last thing I wanted to do was put another child on this planet with Doug. I told him that is not going to happen. We'll take care of the ones that we have, and that's enough of that. Yeah, no way, no way. I would have been creating the ultimate demon. That's not going to happen. So I suffered with that infection, and I went to so many specialists, the CDC. I have this unknown fluke, is what they called, and got my own microscope and started studying and have been able to keep myself alive because they wanted me dead. The next time I had an operation was for a deviated septum. They took my air away too soon. I almost died. Seriously, and it was planned and it was witchcraft. And if I wasn't able to project my mind and my thoughts, I'd be dead. But I was able to instill fear of what the outcome would be before I left. And that's exactly what I'm doing now, too. You will not get away with your dark deeds. Ever, ever. Everything these people have ever tried to not even acknowledge my accomplishments, not acknowledge my sacrifices and how hard I've worked, nothing. Or even try and claim it for their own. All of it. You don't do that to somebody without ramifications. What the fuck do you think? You're going to try and take what's mine and I'm going to let you? No, not even close. That's why I'm telling all you witches that pray for my demise, they're all documented and they will be acted upon back at you for what you tried to do to me with the help of Satan. That's how God works. You don't do shit to people and think you're just going to get away with it and nothing's going to happen. Because it will. I've seen people work their butts off for everybody in the world, and nobody even realizes or acknowledges the hard work and sacrifices that have gone behind that to bring forth information and enlightenment for other people in the world, you know, truly lifting the veil. I shared one of the Christian channels that I have tried to talk to. I have tried to instill the truth. He's a little better than most, but I don't know if you know Israeli News Live, Stephen Ben Danoon and Yana. They took my work quite some time ago on the Noahide laws, and they have a better production than I do. And that seems to capture people's attention when they all can get to talk together and brainstorm their stolen information, whatever. it's good that it's getting out there in that respect. But one thing I won't do is never let these creatures take the love in my heart that I have for the other part of my energy out there that is starting to realize the plans that were made eons ago, that these creatures have no concept of. Not then and not in the future, and certainly not now. They don't even have a clue what they're doing. They think they do. They think they're so fucking slick, don't they? Yeah, they do. But yeah, we know better. Especially the anger that comes when we found out that they actually tried to keep us separated so we wouldn't realize who we were. So we couldn't do anything to this world to make it better for everybody. That's what they were trying to stop. It's not allowed. We have timers, built-in timers for these things that we set for ourselves and each other. So it'll all work out in that respect, you know. But it is disgusting, you know. I mean, the American people, the United States, um, if you can ignore Trump saying how he's gonna go in the Gaza Strip with Netanyahu there, who paid his own people to destroy his own people. If you go along with any of this Israelite takeover of the world, if you think there's anything normal with us being over there, I have no words for what I want to happen to you. But I'm thinking it, and it will happen. So, think you can just fucking do shit to people and nothing's gonna happen to you. Right. Well, guess what? You think you have sacrificial rights to something that doesn't belong to you. And the scariest part, you actually think you're worthy. That's the fucking stupid part, actually. Excuse me. It's unbelievable. It's picture this in an orange jumpsuit, a rabbi in an orange jumpsuit that they belong in, telling you that they're a better person and have more knowledge of the world and how it operates than you do, and they're worthy to take your life or the life of your offsprings. I got a beef with that. I got more than a beef than with that. This is my world, and I'm going to show you who's in control. I'm going to show you that you're going to be sorry you were ever born. I know I am. Not that I was born. I'm sorry you were. Not you, but, you know, them. Those ones. You know, yeah. Don't worry. Their days come. They can feel it right now. They're uncomfortable in their skin because that, with that connection, just how stupid they are. You make somebody else sick with your casting of your ill will, and then it comes back on you. It doesn't matter how many pills you take or how you think you're protected by your prayers and offerings and blood sacrifices or whatever. And I have a right to talk about religion and the raping of children and all the rest of all the very real things that go on this planet, go that do go on this planet. That's a little redundant, but yeah, you get what I'm talking about. So, I'm not backing down. I'm not letting my free speech go. In fact, I'm going to make sure the words I do speak ring through the world, and everybody in the world is going to feel. You're going to feel it, what you've done. Oh, yeah, you will. Every tear a righteous person has cried is going to be a strike on you. Any strike upon somebody like me, that merits, well, actually merits death to you, but, I think death's too easy for some people. Really? Why put them in a prison and just give them, like a lethal injection or something when you can put them on a chain gang and make them rebuild Gaza? Yeah, there you go. Orange suit rabbis in Gaza rebuilding under Trump's guidance. There you go, rebuilding for the Palestinians. Oh, hell yeah. Then you can come back and help out the natives that still don't have clean drinking water in the United States. How about Hunter Biden taking all the Sioux Nation's funds and misappropriating them and then getting pardoned? You think the red people aren't fucking mad about that? Yeah, you rabbi need to get the fuck out of here. Who says that there's a separation between church and state? Evidently there isn't. Why would we be susceptible to the self-proclaimed chosen ones if there was a separation between church and state? Why are we helping in what they call a holy war? Can we say, holy shit, Batman, this is a scam? Yeah, it is. I just wanted somebody in particular to understand that, yeah, we've been attacked, and that the lies that have been fed to each of us, that we know better now, it it's gonna turn on them. It's just a matter of time. And that energy, that's something that nobody's coming in between. I mean, they couldn't do it. Even their lies couldn't stop the actual connection. Uh, and they'll find that out. This old adage, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You don't fuck with the flesh that doesn't belong to you either. I mean, if you don't like it and you think it's expendable, that people's lives are expendable, what do you deserve doing in the flesh just like anybody else? That's what I'm asking. You think these things are chosen? I spit on you right in your face. I've had that happen by people that thought they were better than me. Ah, for real. Could you imagine? Yeah. I've had worse than that. Well, I don't know. That was pretty bad, though. Pretty demeaning, disrespectful. And that's coming from a total slutty whore, so I guess I shouldn't feel too bad. Just the fact that the germs were probably the worst thing on the planet, you know. To give you a little understanding of the alchemy and how I acquired that ability to help. There would have been no other way. Unless you walk through hell, you're not going to know what hell is, right? But when they try and throw more fire on you, then they find out you are the fire. That's funny. Oh, yeah. I want to see all wars end. And the people in the United States, I want you to understand that nobody is chosen. They wrote these books to self proclaim. And they're hated all over the world. And stop pretending they're not. We hate people that murder other people, period. It's not something that we forgive. It's not a lovey dovey situation like, oh, you made a mistake. No, you took hundreds of years, thousands, planning how to keep control over other human beings. That's not forgivable. That you think you're still going to do it and pass it on to more generations? Yeah, no, not anymore. Not like you think. The world, like I was telling Doug, the world still needs the satanic force on it. Let me explain. Without that, you wouldn't have the difference between right and wrong or free will. If you didn't know what bad was, you wouldn't be able to make the decision. If everything was just all good all the time, you wouldn't be rounded enough to make decisions to be in charge of other people. In fact, the ones that are evil, they have no good in them. The ones that say they are Jews but do lie, and the Antichrist comes first, all their own words that are going to be used against them, because that's how stupid they are. Some things were written in such a way that they thought they were being slick, but it wasn't even referring to them. It had nothing to do with them. There's no way they could decipher that because they weren't there. There's like, okay, it's like, say my room's a golden room. There's only one room for the love of my existence. But you have the opportunity to recreate that golden bridal chamber within a marriage for yourself on this planet. But not to enter mine. You try and take mine, you try and come in mine. You have a safe harbor over there, not with mine. That's exactly what they did. They took something that didn't belong to them and tried to control it. That's the force of God that's going to be coming down on their head because they kept true love from flourishing on this planet. And of course, we knew they were going to do that, but the anger we carry when we're younger, not realizing that, puts more satanic force into the world until we were aware of that. But we might have been alone for a long time, decades, being aware of that. But now that's not the case, and they're afraid. They can feel it in the air. I know they can. You know they can too. So be happy. Things are going to be okay. I mean, it's going to take time. It's not really my problem, but they're going to be erased. Yeah, period. They had their chance. I've tried to talk to them. I've tried to show them, hey, we know about your fake chronology and your fake scriptures and your changing of the language exactly when you changed it, adding and taking away vowels to coin terms that weren't previously there. I've got videos explaining with proof. I've got the receipts, and I can tell you where it's in my videos, all of what I'm talking about. So yeah, they're I mean, I knew that this day would come. I just didn't know when. And I also knew that there would be so-called false prophets that would try and deceive us. But I'm not easily fooled. And the thing is, you know how I knew who a false prophet is? They have fear. They have fear. Yeah. I mean, if somebody's bigger than you, smarter than you, or like a totally badass wizard or something, you might want to have a little bit of fear, or at least a respectful um, distance of um, honoring another person's work on this planet. But if you cross that line, there's a war. And those are the lines that they tried to keep crossed, so the combination of what is real wouldn't surface, you know. And you can feel it if you have a relationship, any relationship. You can feel the tension within another person, the push pull of the good or evil thing within them, whether or not they have control over that or not. You know, you can tell to what degree and all that, you know. So So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about their being erased because this isn't the human race. This is the human eraser. So, and that's what's being determined right now. Who's going to graduate and who's not. So I'll be playing some music later. I'm gonna play some songs. I've been thinking of a couple of them of like I call them like divorce songs that Doug and I were like into listening to when we met each other from previous experiences. You might be a couple of them I was thinking is Paradise at the Dashboard Light by Meatloaf off of Bad Outta Hell album, and REO Speedwagon has another one that was one of my theme songs. I'll look it up. I'll think of it, but I'll play some tunes later or in a little bit here. So I love you all. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace.